Hello guys, and welcome to Game Night. This week, we are revisiting Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. We played this once before, but we only got through one round. This time, we're going to try to play it with multiple rounds now that we know what we're doing. So if you haven't seen the first video, the game works like this. A murder has happened, and one of the players at the table is the murderer. Every player is going to have some cards in front of them. They're going to have some clue cards and some means of murder cards. So for example, I might have a venomous snake in front of me as the means of murder, and I might have a USB drive as the clue. We'll say I'm the murderer. Everyone closes their eyes, and I point to two of my cards in front of me, one clue and one means of murder. Another player is what's called the forensic investigator. And that player is going to have their eyes open, know that I'm the murderer, and know which two cards that I picked in front of me. Everyone then opens their eyes, and it's the job of the other players to find the murderer and the two cards they used to commit the murder. That's pretty much the way the game works. The forensic investigator knows, but isn't allowed to say anything. All he or she can do is they'll have a series of small boards in front of them that have hints. So for example, they might have something about the location of the crime. Maybe it took place at a zoo. Well, that could lead towards a snake, or it could lead towards someone else's clue in front of them. They will then put bullets on top of the clues that they can give of their various boards that they have, and the other players then discuss on who they think committed the crime. Once a player is sure, they can make their official guess. They only get one of these per game. If they're right, they win. If not, they can still contribute to the discussions, but they no longer have an official guess. So the game takes place either once the investigators find the killer and the two cards that they used, or once 3 rounds happen. And the way a round works is at the beginning of each new round, the forensic investigator will get a new clue that they're able to give the rest of the players. The players will then discuss. They'll have an opportunity to give their spin on the murder. It's not an official guess, but just sort of their general ideas. Once they do that, the next round starts. If 3 rounds complete and they don't catch the killer wins. Or if they use all of their official guesses up, the killer wins as well. That is how Deception, Murder in Hong Kong works. Let's put our detective skills to the test and see if we can solve this. Okay, round 1, and I'm an investigator. Time to catch this killer.
All right, I will be the forensic scientist on this first game. Let's see how it goes.
All right, so this game night we're going to be playing Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. I've only played this one other time. I think we've only played like 2 or 3 games maybe. I understand the premise perfectly. As far as winning and stuff like that, I have never done. The only thing that I have ever succeeded in doing is not dying. So this time, that's what I'm going to try to do. I am not the murderer, so basically all I have to do is focus on the clues, the evidence, and try to assemble them together. And put my job and badge on the line and catch the bad guy.
Hey guys, Kuro Blind Way back. I'm Rick.
Aaron.
Calvin.
Shane.
Eric.
We are revisiting Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
This is also including the expansion, which I cannot read. It is over there on that shelf.
More deception. So,
Basically,
I'm sure we covered it in the intro, so.
Yeah, it's just giving us a few extra tiles for this particular game, but it also has some new roles for games with more players.
Which we don't have, so we're not using any of those.
Oh,
in this one, I'm going to be the forensic scientist.
okay.
You guys all have a card in front of you. Don't show it to anybody, because it will either say investigator, or one of you is the murderer. So that's what you don't want to show anybody. So here in a second, in case you guys forgot, everyone will close their eyes except for me, and then the murderer will open their eyes, and then the murderer will point at one blue card and one orange card, which is the murder weapon and their evidence they left behind of the murder they committed. So kind of look at your cards and make sure you kind of think about what you want to put together. And then I will be using clues to try to help the investigators. The little card in front of you, for a reminder, will be your one actual guess that you get to use.
Okay.
Okay. So once you turn that in, you no longer get any actual
Your little
guesses.
badge token.
Okay.
Yeah, you put your badge on the line to make this one guess.
Oh, here, let me have
Kind of
Okay.
like dokes.
I'm not using those. All right, everybody, close your eyes. Murderer, open your eyes and point to one blue and one orange card.
Okay, kicking off the first round, I am the murderer. So I have my options in front of me, and I want to be able to, I don't give anything too crazy, like something that's impossible to make a story out of, but I also don't want to be too obvious. So I'm gonna go with handcuffs and matches. So Aaron can either maybe try to get some kind of hostage situation that goes bad, or some kind of sexual situation that goes bad, or goes right. I don't know. It depends on how he wants the game to go, because he's telling the story, trying to get the other investigators to figure out what the crime was. So, yeah, I'm going to play this and see what I can see and do what I can do.
All right, and then murderer, close your eyes, and everybody can open your eyes. All right. So one thing we did differently last
looking at
time
me?
is that the murderer, or not the
Looking at
murderer,
me.
the
I
forensic
wasn't. I opened my eyes
scientist.
And you were
Hey!
staring my direction.
The forensic scientist actually gets to pick a location of the crime. So I'm going to look at these real quick.
Calvin was avoiding eye contact when we opened our eyes.
Lauren's voice projected
my
over
drink
here the
back.
whole time when he was saying, "Murder, open his eyes." Now point.
I was what?
Your voice is projecting,
I was just
which is
projecting.
more likely because
I was trying to project loudly because I was above my mic,
Yeah.
trying to make sure that they can hear me.
And that
Okay.
way has 3 people.
Oh,
and I only
it's,
have
it's
one.
more likely it's one of us.
Well, we all opened our eyes. Calvin is not making eye contact. Immediately makes him suspicious. So he is my go-to guy. Let's see where our first clue is.
All right, so right out of the gate, Shane's already doing his thing. Whenever you play these kind of games with Shane, it gets really frustrating because he does this thing like you're an asshole for trying to play the game correctly whenever you're randomly assigned being the bad guy. So I'm already having to deal with that, and I hope that I didn't let my small amount of frustration leak whenever he did his extremely unfun thing that he just did. So let's see if I can keep it together.
I'm not sure who it is. I'm thinking maybe Rick or Eric. Shane doesn't seem like he's very defensive or anything like that. So I'm thinking he's not worried about it. He's not stressing about being caught. So I don't think it's him. Yeah, see where the evidence points to.
We have 2 of these cards. I need to flip over 4 more. Ooh,
What's that?
A useful clue.
we'll get to that one later.
Is it really?
Maybe.
They are more useful than a random clue.
All right, so Eric is the murderer. He has chosen the match and the handcuffs. It's now my job to create some kind of story using these and get these guys to guess it. My first thing is to pick a location, which of all these, it's really rough to put those 2 things together, but I'm going to try a hotel.
Cause of death and location.
Okay.
For location, there's pub, bookstore, restaurant, hotel, hospital, and building site. Of which he will choose. A hotel.
A hotel. It happened in a hotel. Okay. So the blue cards are
The means.
the means, and the orange cards are
Clues
the
left behind.
clues left behind. So a hotel.
Have potted plants. Well, a hotel. The first thing I think of is a potted plant. Eric has a potted plant. So he is now the new top contender for murder.
Pillows.
Folding chair. Bite into.
They have work.
You could have a rope at a hotel. People kill themselves, or it looks like they kill themselves. Maybe.
They have those scooter things you can rent in big cities
Oh,
where we
bird
go
scooters?
to for hotels.
I think it's more than likely.
Cockroach. They have cockroaches at hotels, but That's
evidence.
evidence.
They have ice. Oh, that's later. But
Well, this is the location,
Yeah,
of
location.
the crime, so it could have something to do with the clue as well. The cause of death will probably be related to the means,
Yeah.
of which there is suffocation, severe injury, loss of blood, illness/disease, poisoning, and accident.
Okay.
So a hotel accident.
A hotel accident.
Okay.
So, could be
Those damn potted plants.
Work? Could
Surgery.
be at a hotel? No.
Well, emergency surgery.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, but he could have chosen hospital.
yeah.
True.
yeah,
I was just thinking of anything that could have been an accident.
like it's some fucking.
I mean, a match could be. He could be lighting up something you're not supposed to and
Yeah.
burn the whole place down.
Okay, so as the murderer, I need to make sure that I look like I'm playing the game and starting to find scenarios, but Aaron is just picking these great options that are really limiting other scenarios. So, yeah, I got to be real careful what I do and say from now on.
Of course, you could do that anywhere.
Yeah.
Motive of the crime: hatred, power, money, love, which he chose, jealousy, and justice.
Chose love.
He chose love.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Love.
Love of pills.
Yeah.
Crime of passion. Maybe.
Like a love bite.
Ooh.
no.
In a hotel. Accident.
I bit her to death accidentally.
They were doing some vampire role play. I can see it.
Safety pin. Gotten those before.
We've all been there.
A flute. Accident. Flute. No.
That'd be band camp.
Yeah.
Well, that's not on the card, though.
A bell. A bell boy.
What?
And the victim's clothes are naked. Okay, so it definitely seems like somebody got caught.
All right, the guys have now had accident and they've had the hotel. I'm gonna try to craft this in like maybe two lovers trying to do something, using some handcuffs on the bed. Maybe they're lighting some candles. It fell over. They couldn't get the guy off the bed. Burned to death, or the girl, whichever, some way like that. So let's try to go with lovers and a naked body.
Naked clothes. Naked.
Yeah, you died by biting, and there was ice involved because you put ice on their body.
They were naked.
You know.
You haven't said much, Shane. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of looking at mine. I'm kind of looking at yours. I
mean, you don't have to look at
literally can't
yours.
see those at all because of the light. I got to get right here.
I'll say, Shane, the only reason
That
you need to
might
look
make
at
it worse.
yours
Yeah.
is if you're like a culprit kind of thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if you're a culprit, then you want to try to push off other ideas. If you're
If it's like an accident at a hotel, they might be having sex. Somebody might be like suffocated.
Ooh, like David Carradine.
Well,
He didn't
shit.
choose suffocation though,
No, he chose accident.
why naked though?
and afraid.
All right, we have our location and we have our cause of death. It's an accident at a hotel. I'm thinking maybe like a pillow or something like that. A lot of pillows at hotels. But wait, it's an accident, not suffocation. So I don't think it's the pillow. Maybe points more towards Eric. I don't know, maybe it's like a kidnapping?
Like
It's an
a
accident,
tie
I don't know.
is not on the body; it's on the floor.
On the doorknob.
The doorknob.
That's what you do, right? That's what the kids do. And they were trying to trim their pubic hair
Scissors.
and cut too deep and died of blood loss. We've all been there.
No.
No.
The very
So-
fact that we're alive proves that we have not been there.
You have a. What are yours? Pello.
Pello Chemicals drill of work,
Okay, Pello fits for hotel.
surveillance camera,
Yeah,
oil
but
stain, USB, flash drive, and a bell.
it doesn't make sense for the
Ring-a-ding-ding.
accident, though. I feel like it would have to be like a work accident or the electric bike or like a chair or something that
they fell off of and
This-
hurt themselves.
Unless it was a baby that
There's a
died.
surveillance camera on method.
Maybe.
It's a clue left behind. So
Yeah.
they were caught on camera.
Okay.
Well, we still haven't had the day of crime, which maybe is irrelevant
Which could be an entire season.
in this as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I look at these, I try to think, okay, what are the unlikely combinations that the murderer is likely to pick, and the poor Aaron, has to make a story out of.
Yep.
So, like, Rick could have picked oil stain and pillow, and Aaron has to, okay, how the hell do I do this? So, like, some guy giving oil to some other guy, it falls on the floor, slips, the pillow's there. I don't know. I'm trying to think, like,
I'm thinking-
what is a story that could be told here?
Potted plant handcuffs. Because handcuffs, they're naked, they're making love, but they're, like,
What's a potted plant?
it's
the
the
murder
accident.
weapon. It's the accident.
They
Like,
were
it
like,
fell off a table and smashed their face.
they were humping
Weekend.
on the bed.
Okay, day of
and
the
there
crime
was a
was
shelf
on weekend.
above.
Humping.
Yeah. They were humping on the bed. There was
Yeah.
a shelf above with a potted plant on it. Fell down, hit the guy on top, or the girl. Who was pegging the guy.
What were the options for the location that he picked?
He
Hotel,
picked
but what are the other options?
Hospital, building site, restaurant, bookstore, and pub. But he also chose from all the locations because he could have picked any of the cards
Yeah.
he wanted.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think potted plant handcuffs.
I don't know. I don't think so because I know I'm not. So you're going pretty hard at something. Let's see.
All right, so they're kind of on the right track. Rick has mentioned handcuffs now, but he's looking at that potted plant for the accident. I really need something to switch him around to that match.
Gotta catch this guy,
So,
Eric.
I know, but
he's a
now,
killer.
Now I'm kind of suspecting you. Like I'm also.
How was a
again,
ladybug a clue?
It's just.
A moth was a clue in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta think outside the box, Shane.
Okay.
So an accident at a hotel.
So maybe it was like a prostitute and they were there working.
All right, I'm kind of flip-flopping between Eric and Rick at this point. Both have clues and murder weapons that could fit it. I'm waiting for the really definitive piece of evidence to show up.
Oh,
All
we're
right,
getting
what is he taking away?
He's taking
taking
away
away-
Day of the Crime, which was a weekend,
and
and-
state of the scene.
which includes bits and pieces, ashes, water stain, cracked.
Disorderly and tidy.
Yeah. Ashes.
Ashes.
We all fall down.
Matches.
Well, we got matches.
Do you have matches?
Oh, luckily, I drew a tile that has ashes. And there's not a lot on the board that relates to ashes. I'm going to use that, and hopefully the guys will catch on.
All right, so I still think it's Eric. I think it's the potted plant, but what is naked? It could be handcuffs, the sex. Wait, he just did ashes. It's got to be a match.
Oil.
Can you smoke in hotels anymore?
No.
No. I mean, you can, but there's like a $500 fine.
Matches and handcuffs. Seems pretty...
Well, you got chemicals.
Fuck it. Matches and handcuffs.
Yep.
Bam!
I knew it was you, damn it.
Well, I gotta play the game, man. You look at me like it's probably you, isn't it? And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do, man? It ruins the game.
Lie
when you do that
better.
kind
I
of
don't
shit.
know.
What do you mean lie better? I just looked around. What do you want me to do? Sit there like this?
Yes.
It gets frustrating sometimes.
All right, so stack them up and keep them in front of you so I know when I scan them.
I'm glad I drew that to help with the ashes thing. So I'm like, I need to get him the matches.
Yeah, the ashes.
They're so
thing.
close to
The
handcuffs
ashes
now.
thing sucked.
Thank you, Rick. All right, one down. Let's see what happens next round.
Well, shit, they got me. Rick called it out. Aaron gave great clues. I'm just too dumb to get away with murder here in Hong Kong. So hopefully I do better in a round where I'm not a murderer. Hopefully.
Well, that was a short game. Rick got it, like, right away. Good for him. Takes the pressure off me. I had no until that last clue showed up, like I wasn't certain that it had to do with the matches. But then I was trying to find the other piece of evidence. Love, handcuffs, accident. It makes sense. They got burned up. So good on Rick for catching it. And Eric choosing 2 unlikely pieces of evidence. If Aaron hadn't been able to put the ashes as a piece of evidence together, probably wouldn't have caught him for a long time. I'd have still been focused on Rick.
Okay, I played this game before. I enjoyed it. So, what's weird is I try to last time I played this, I was trying to think of a story. I was playing the story in my head of what a good story was, or what I was using. I think too much of my imagination, and I wasn't just like this time. I was pretty sure it was Eric because Aaron was talking in my direction when her eyes were closed. I didn't think it was Calvin. I know it wasn't me, so I just thought it was Eric. And then when I opened my eyes, Eric just looked really suspicious. And then just the way he was talking, he was just being, when he was very engaged, I thought it was him. I mean, the thing I struggle with is just trying to put together, the clue and like Aaron's clues, putting together, like, the murder weapon and everything. So I was just sitting there just trying to think of an unlikely combination that he would pick, something random. And I kept thinking of just all the random things, and I don't know. But yeah, so we'll see what happens next round.
Okay, this time I am the forensic scientist, so I need to be able to give clues to the investigators without having to say anything. Why am I a mute forensic scientist, and why can I communicate to the investigators? I don't know, but I will do my best to solve this crime along with them.
Okay, so I'm the murderer. Going to try to pick just literally something random. That didn't go very well together. At first I was going to pick cards and there's another one. Fuck. Cards and a wrench, because I thought they'd be weird together, but cards, you can kind of put them in, casino and, other places like that. So I went with an unlikely combination, air condition, and because I think it's general, and I'm hoping powder is vague enough to where they can not agree on terms of what, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try to act like I don't understand some of the rules. Normally that gets them pretty good. So we'll see.
All right, it is time for round 2, and I am the forensic investigator this time, forensic scientist. So what that means is I need everybody here to close their eyes.
Everyone has looked at their card, right?
Affirmative.
Okay. All right, now I'm going to lean over so I can see everybody's cards here, and I'm going to ask that the murderer open their eyes. Okay, and I want the murderer to point to the 2 cards that they want to use in this here.
Okay, I know that it is Shane who is the murderer. He has indicated that he wants to use a powder drug and an air conditioner, both as the means of death and a clue to the death. So this is going to be a little hard one. I'm going to see what I can do.
Okay, the murderer will close their eyes, and everybody else will go get me cookies and open their eyes after.
Was I the only one that heard voices while we had our eyes closed?
Yeah, I heard somebody's phone going off. Like a video playing on one of you two guys. Check
Shane, is your phone playing?
Not mine, no.
Playing?
I heard voices.
Sounds like a video or something. Very quietly.
Mine sounds.
Did you double check your Shane?
Yeah.
Oh. My Google search was a forensic investigator.
Okay. Well, now we know.
Now
All
we
right,
know.
so you can pick a location of the crime thing, set it down, and then set 4 of those orange ones down too.
Okay.
All right, so I have drowning, a stone, being buried, brick for the means of murder, tea leaves, ID card, video camera, and toy for the clue.
Okay. I have a wire, dismember, sculpture, mad dog. Mad dog.
Mad
You
Dog
have 2
Tanner.
wires.
Huh?
Nobody calls me Mad Dog.
You have an internet cable and a fiber optic wire.
Oh yeah, and then I have a fiber optic, a internet cable, spider, and prescription. So I have 3 wires.
You have so many wires.
Yeah, a lot of wires. I'm the techie.
Okay. I have a steel tube, an electric baton, which is like a cattle prod.
Like Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Plastic bag, pistol, and for evidence, I have a leather shoe, nail, stuffed toy, and a fax machine.
I thought that said lifeless shoe.
Well, both are true.
I have playing cards, a bandage, paint, air conditioner. And then I have powdered drug, wrench, axe, ice skate.
Ooh.
Okay, so for location of crime, the options are playground, classroom, dormitory, cafeteria, elevator, and toilet.
Okay.
Okay, and I am going to go with dormitory.
Dormitory.
Okay, location of the crime. This one was kind of hard because I was kind of going between dormitory and bathroom. I figure if it's overdose, people usually do that in private, and that seemed like to be like the most private was the bathroom. But a toilet or a bathroom generally doesn't have like its own AC unit, but a dormitory does. So hopefully those guys can pick up on that.
Okay.
Dormitory. Could be some playing cards. Could be an air conditioning unit. They have those at some of the older buildings in Marietta College.
Yeah. Could be powdered drug, stuffed toy. Gotta have internet if you're a student.
It's true.
I mean, if
No
it's
fiber
Calvin's
optic
dorm,
around
it'd be
here.
the Calvin's dorm would be a wrench.
Monkey
Home
wrench.
supplies.
Maybe like an ID card.
Can't see anything.
Yeah, ID card, toy.
A brick, berry,
Maybe
a stone.
Stone. I don't know of many.
Maybe stoned.
Those are some like murder weapons right there.
Drown.
Yep.
You drown someone, you bury someone, a brick and a stone. All right.
Well, I tie a
don't know.
brick to them as I drown them.
Maybe
Well, that's 2 murders.
dormitory. Maybe like a sculpture in the hallway or something.
It's a fancy ass dorm
Well, plastic bags, of course.
for
they gotta eat.
asphyxiation for the sexes. I understand.
When I think of dorms, I always think of video cameras.
I always think of milk crates.
I don't know.
I mean, I
what
just
was
think of
the-
college kids with cameras and shit. I know it's Smallville, I know it's high school, but I think of Chloe with the, I don't know. I just think of video
What was the
cameras all
one
the time.
ice skater that pulled off the triple axel?
Tanya Harding?
Tanya Harding, yeah.
Did they make a movie about her?
Yeah.
All right, well, detectives, we did get a call from the medical examiner about the cause of death.
Okay.
The options are suffocation, severe injury, loss of blood, illness or disease, poisoning, and accident. And the ME has ruled this a poisoning.
All right, so cause of death, the first one, I went with poisoning. If this is a powdered drug, obviously the way you kill somebody with that is that they overdose. So it's going to have to be a poisoning.
Poisoning. Well, change drugs is the only thing that makes sense, so that's what my focus is.
All right, so this round, I'm an investigator again, and the weapons that are in my card stack are an electric baton, doesn't work with poisoning, a gun, lead poisoning, not really, a metal pipe, definitely not poisoning. If it said lead, that might have pointed towards it, but it specified steel, so that's not it either. The only thing that remains that kind of puts me in doubt is a plastic bag, which you would put drugs in, which is what Shane has.
So Eric has chosen poison. My first thought is to go with drugs. So Shane is my number 1 suspect now.
Okay, so I might have hit the obliviousness a little too hard. They're pretty convinced it's a powder, but they can't agree on anything else. So I don't know. I'm kind of back in the corner here. They know it's me. The only thing I can count on is for them just to not be able to agree on the other thing besides powder. Air conditioning just seems like a weird weapon, but hopefully there's nothing that a fat man or anyone else could give a hint towards.
Poisoning. Okay, so
Well, I'm out.
So not this.
description.
No, it should be a blue one.
Okay.
Paint.
Cause of death.
Maybe, maybe not.
Lead paint.
Lead
I
poisoning.
mean, powder, drug. could be a
Powdered
poisoning.
drug could be.
That's a strong poisoning method right there.
Yeah.
If you eat enough plastic bags, does that count as
I
poison?
mean, honestly, I don't see much in poisoning unless somehow you poison with tea leaves.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Lead paint on the toys.
Maybe. I mean, the drugs are the strongest one.
There's a show that's being watched. I'm gonna say tea leaves.
And I just pick these at random, right?
Yep.
No, you just play the next 4, and you can pick which ones you want.
Okay.
And then you're gonna draw the next 3 from the top. Depending on what that is, you can do it now or just wait
Forensic
and see.
scientist draws 2 scene tiles and substitutes them for any 2 scene tiles in the display.
So you can do that now if you want, or you can wait till later.
The
or
killer
whatever.
has to always pick from his cards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't do
you
this
can't
and
pick
that.
someone else's.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, it can't be like this pistol with this ID card.
Okay. Well, because I was kind of confused on that.
Yeah, because you're picking one person and what items they used.
What was the other clues?
Poison and dormitory.
All right, so if I was looking at poisoning and dormitory for Shane, poison-wise, I'd probably say the powdered drug. Dormitory-wise, I might say like air conditioner.
Or playing cards.
And maybe, yeah. If I was gonna go
Strip
for,
poker.
if I was gonna go for Calvin, I really don't see much that has poisoning involved.
Lead poisoning.
That's a pistol. There's so many better options than that.
I know.
And dormitory, I don't see a lot of options really.
Honestly, I think Calvin's good.
For me, I mean prescription, I guess, could be
That's
poisoning.
not really a
Poisoning.
murder
It could be
weapon, though.
poisoning related though. It's kind of.
Yeah.
It might not necessarily be the murder weapon. Spider poison?
Well, venom, but
maybe.
is as close as, right?
Does rabies count as poison?
Is that poisoning? Rabid mad dog?
It's a disease rather than.
Yeah, there's a
Poison.
disease.
Yeah, I would have
option.
chosen disease instead. Sculpture maybe for dormitory, but I don't really see dismemberment wire matching. And then Rick,
Nothing but tea leaves.
I really don't see much except for ID card that matches anything really given, and tea leaves, but you can't have both.
Can't have both.
Yeah.
Not me.
So would one of the investigators like to venture a guess before we move on?
No, because I only get
You
one.
can only.
All right. The general impression of the crime, we have common, creative, fishy, cruel, horrible, and suspenseful. This one is pretty common.
General impression of the crime, I went with common. Sadly, drug overdoses are fairly common, and there's nothing creative, fishy, cruel, horrible, or suspenseful about them. They're just sad and common.
Okay.
Common.
So drug abuse is very common.
A common playing card. I don't know.
Yeah, I like powdered drug.
The victim's occupation was a student.
Victim's occupation, that was an easy one. It's a student, alone, doing some drugs. It sadly happens, and they were killed or murdered because of it.
That doesn't help too much.
Okay.
What are the other choices on those cards, by the way?
Boss, professional, worker, unemployed, and retired.
Okay.
I'm thinking tea leaves.
The way you did that was like. It sounded like Eye of the Tiger.
Do you like Doctor Who? Or Adam's Family?
Yeah, but that's
I can't think of
that's
any.
evidence, not really cause of death
For what?
for poisoning. Shane was saying he thinks tea leaves, but I don't think that works.
I mean, depending on what it is, the
could.
clue itself could point towards the evidence rather than the actual death method. It's possible. But
I'm still
Just-
thinking
it just
powdered
depends.
drug is
the best option we have
the
so far.
best option so far.
I do too. I'm just looking for a clue that leads me to playing cards.
Or air conditioner. What's the other ones?
Paint and bandage.
Bandage and paint.
And then the victim's expression when they were found that they died with was frightened.
Frightened.
Having a bad trip.
Frightened, huh? Why frightened?
Because their air conditioner broke.
It's gonna get too hot tonight. Oh no, I'm gonna sweat a little.
Well, Mad Dog would make you frightened.
Yeah.
So would a spider. If you knew.
I look at a bunch of errands, but I feel like they're reaching. You know what I mean? Honestly.
Frightened.
I'd be frightened if I had to drink tea.
And then I can use the erroneous information card that allows me to move from one to another.
Okay.
And I will amend the expression from frightened to in pain.
Okay.
So we were down the wrong track.
Tea leaves and. I think anything would be painful unless it was quick. And you can die quickly from almost anything.
I mean, the drugs, you might be euphoric as you're dying.
Yeah, so it might not be painful.
Or it might set your nerves on fire.
Maybe. I'm thinking something funny with the video camera, but never mind.
And do I put another one out to get up to 6 again?
Yeah, you'll be drawing 3 more.
Okay.
Not from the green,
We're
from
not
the orange.
timed, right?
Yeah.
No, Eric just moves us along whenever we stall.
Yeah.
You're allowed to give like an informal guess at the end of every round
And then
and like justify it.
In
no,
But you can give your
pain.
this at any time.
I don't have one.
and then you're
I
fucked.
need Eric's.
Can he have your badge, Eric?
Yeah.
You don't need that. I was like, I don't have one.
Maybe because you're the killer.
I'm not. None of my stuff. Nothing. If anything, for poison.
What are the
such
clues
a
again?
reach. Prescription.
All right, so
spider,
the
maybe.
cause of death was ruled to be poisoning.
Poison.
The location of the crime was a dormitory. The general impression of this crime is that it's fairly common. Victim's occupation was a student, and the expression on the victim's face was not sure if it was really frightened or in pain.
So we've gotten several clues now. They kind of point a few different directions. You can kind of interpret them a few ways. I don't know. I'm really thinking not Calvin. Could still be Rick, maybe. But I'm still really thinking it's Shane.
All right, so now we have some more evidence. Yeah, he was in pain, possibly scared, which all points to something that they didn't expect, which may be the drugs, but I don't know how that fits with the other pieces of evidence. Pain, maybe the air conditioner, because it's hot and, you know, they're uncomfortable and everything, but I don't think so.
So on that occupation card, there was no gambler or air conditioning repairman.
Boss, professional, worker, unemployed, and retired. This was a student.
Just checking.
So student in his
Lived-
dorm.
Is he in the Havoc school though?
HVAC.
No, he's not. All right.
What?
Hold on.
It's a dog.
That's a good dog, yeah.
All right, I'm stumped.
All right, the murderer's personality. We have arrogant, despicable, furious, greedy, forceful, and perverted.
This is the murders.
Is it greedy?
The murderer has been shown to be greedy.
All right, murderer's personality. I went with greedy on this one. I figured that if it was an overdose, it was most likely caused by the murderer cutting the drug in order to stretch out their supply. Usually you do this with some kind of accelerant like laundry detergent or boric acid. So I figure that if we go with greedy, then they can factor in that in their speculation. But we'll see. That's kind of a loose fit. We'll see.
Greed. I'm going to solve 2 of these in a row. Powder drugs, playing cards. Drug, playing cards.
Incorrect.
Damn it. I was wrong.
Okay, so here goes. Rick just put his badge on the line and said the drugs and the playing cards. That wasn't it, but I think he was close. Let the evidence decide.
All right, Rick has made a guess for playing cards, especially with that greedy clue. I think that fits really well, but sadly it did not work. So what does greedy mean? And am I misinterpreting it and pointing at Shane for the wrong reasons?
I guess.
Drugs and playing cards is not right.
Fucking. You going to do one?
Only
You get
one.
one official guess.
I'm still allowed to talk. give
Yeah,
my
Rick can
opinions,
talk, but he can no longer
Yeah,
have
he's
an
not
official
out.
guess to end the game.
But I cannot win the game for us
Why is he considered greedy?
because of playing cards. Right?
But what else goes with poison if you're sticking with playing cards?
He poisoned his axe. You do that in D&D? Calvin's been quiet.
Why? So the murderer is greedy.
Yeah.
I mean,
So this is a common crime motivated by greed that the victim was found in a dormitory. They were poisoned. There was a
What were they poisoned by?
He was a student. I can't tell you that.
He doesn't know. He's just a man.
Common.
And was found with an expression of pain.
Pain. I mean, I obviously think.
Why pain from poison?
I can go up to how many on this?
You gotta you flip 3 of those once you have your full thing dealt out. So
I think of
this
pain. I
is-
think of these.
You need that one and one more, I think, right? Yeah, but pain.
He has to start replacing, right?
Those don't fit with poison, though. You know,
Not at all.
like electric baton. I don't get how that's poison.
I mean, I definitely think of that.
Well, you can't mix and match.
Yeah.
I know. Goddamn.
Like these don't fit. It would be like severe injury rather than poisoning,
Steel.
right?
Lead.
Yeah, it's not even lead.
It's not even lead. Mix and match. We can't do that.
It's like fax toner poisonous.
What?
Is fax toner poisonous?
I mean, it can be toxic, but
You could find that maybe at a dorm.
Yeah, but
Man, see, if it's not playing cards, I really want to say air conditioner, but I don't know how it's greedy. Did he kill the guy over the air conditioner because he was hogging all the good air?
maybe.
maybe. Or he took it to his room.
So we'll lose the in pain.
Okay.
And some of the evidence left behind that lead us to this conclusion is that there is synthetic evidence left behind.
All right, evidence left behind. This was a tough one because none of them match. So I went with synthetic, hopefully that they would understand the idea that these drugs left behind had artificial or synthetic ingredients which caused the overdose, caused the death. We'll see though.
Synthetic.
That is a clue for this murder.
Synthetic.
what the fuck kind of clue is that?
Okay.
So
My only option.
not
What are the other
tea
ones on
it's
there?
like a man-made
Natural,
thing then, right?
artistic, written, personal, and unrelated. This is synthetic.
Natural, artistic.
I guess the poison could be in the plastic bag, like he bought it at a store.
Man, I would go with suffocation though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I would
Yeah.
link it so much better.
Grasping of straws, though.
Like suffocation, I go with
Something tea
drowning.
leaves.
Yeah.
Why-
It's not synthetic.
Why pick poison unless it points to the drugs? 'Cause
Well,
I-
synthetic is just some of the clues left
Or the
behind.
tea leaves. Maybe.
Yeah, which would point to these cards. These are the clues that
And
are
there's
left
synthetic tea
behind.
leaves now.
Eric wouldn't know that though.
But if he died from
Or
poisoning,
he would not count.
see the
on
thing with that, if you
I
say
wouldn't
you
want
s-
you guys to think.
if you say tea leaves though as the poison, like why wouldn't he choose one of the killing methods to reflect drowning, being buried, or killed by a brick or stone?
it. Yeah.
You know, there's better options for
It'd
those.
be like severe injury or loss of blood or suffocation.
I mean,
Because maybe
it
there's
could
more to the
still
story.
be drugs.
Maybe there's more to the story.
I mean,
Paint is synthetic,
I don't think so. Paint is synthetic. It can be.
so is like bandages are usually cotton, right?
I think
Like sometimes they have plastic.
could be a synthetic bandage, right?
Okay.
All right. So powder drug, and which one did we rule out in that combination
It's not
already?
drug and cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not those together.
It's not those together.
And as far as poison goes, it makes no sense for it to be axe, wrench, or ice,
Ice
skate.
skate.
If this is a murder in the D&D world, it would be axe and playing cards.
That doesn't help, Rick.
It might be.
There's no poison there.
The axe is poison.
All right. So how about this? Dismemberment? No.
Yeah.
Sculpture? No.
Yeah. It would be like massive
Like
injury.
pistol? No.
Yeah.
What if it was a
Ooh,
sculpture?
I don't know. And I keep thinking.
What if it was a sculpture of a spider?
Like what things go with the clues we have, right? Like it's probably
Don't think
not.
it's any of these.
It's probably not drown or bury, right?
Yeah.
You can safely turn all of mine over. Because I'm not the...
I mean, I can safely
Well, I
turn
think
over
of
mine, but I
powder.
don't want to do that because I don't want to.
When I think of powder, I think of like anthrax. I think of like some nerve
Cocaine.
agent. I think of a nerve agent. I think of cocaine laced with.
So you poison somebody with this stuff that can kill them.
Yeah, but I don't think poison. I think of.
Huh?
I think of.
Isn't arsenic a poison? And like, isn't
Yeah.
like you can poison someone with cocaine that could overdose them and kill them, right? Like that's a thing you can do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Like you can just take drugs, powder it up, and you overdose them and kill them.
Roofies are powder, right? Or are they tablets that turn into powder?
I
They-
think they dissolve, but
They dissolve quickly.
like so I think there's just a tablet you put in that.
But you
Yeah.
could powder it up.
You could,
You
and then you
could.
could OD someone by poisoning them with that. So it's still
Yeah.
it's just because, yeah. I mean, all that stuff is drugs, death. The thing is, what does it match best with Shane? I really don't think anything with Rick's is matching, which
I don't think
sucks
it is
because I was
either.
suspecting you early on.
But why?
Because you're always suspectful.
I'm always respectful.
For
Respectable.
For mine,
I'm
I
always
mean,
circumspectable.
these can kind of fit with Dorm. These can kind of fit with Poison.
Yeah.
I guess that could kind of fit with Poison, but I don't think so. I would imagine a Mad Dog, you'd go with more of like Bloody or something.
Or severe injury or,
Yeah. Or
disease.
something like that. Or disease.
Or disease, yeah, something like that.
I don't think it's that. I think, like, if you're going for, like, poisoning, like, it's carried in a plastic bag or something like that. But then I think that the powder drug is a far more direct
Poison method.
poisoning method than a plastic bag.
Can you poison paint and get someone to lick it?
So if we're going with that and that's the best option, then it's a matter of narrowing it down to one of those remaining 3 out of our 2 guesses because Shane is the killer and his guess won't matter.
Yeah. Because he's going to go with tea leaves and some other shit that's turned over.
I think it's tea leaves. I think who's poisoning people with tea leaves? Yeah, they made tea out of poison ivy.
Geisha.
All right.
But what matches synthetic?
Maybe like a latex bandage or
Or paint? Or is
paint
it
or air
air
conditioning.
conditioner?
It's
We still have at least another round.
If we can get one more to help us push it towards that.
Hopefully it's a good one.
do we have one more clue that we get out?
Yeah, we get one more.
Okay.
This is the last one.
So
And he replaces it.
Okay, so they were pretty close there for a little bit when they were talking about the drugs and the AC unit. But things have started to kind of go off the rails. I think definitely they're wanting the drugs as the main murder weapon, but can't seem to decide on what the how will the AC factor into this. So with a last-ditch effort, I have the card Victim's Build. Time to do some work.
the clue here is victim's build: large, thin, tall, short, disfigured, and fit. Okay, I'm going to take off. I'll take off the synthetic clue.
Okay.
Now, this victim was a large victim.
All right, with the victim's build, I went with large. I'm hoping, beyond hope, they will think that large fat people, even they can overdose. And if they're that big that they'll overdose, even while being that fat, they need some cold, because they're running too hot. They need a personal AC unit. Man, I hope they get it.
All right, this is it. This is our chance. Large build man, they get hot. I'm gonna say powder drugs and air conditioning.
Fat people get hot.
Powder drug, air conditioner.
Correct.
Yes!
Fat people do get hot.
Fat people get hot.
Eric,
Yes.
I'm glad you were the clue giver.
So I figured it was overdose in a dormitory.
Why was it greedy?
Because I chose greedy because the murderer used synthetic accelerant to cut the drug, which give them more profit because they use
Okay,
less
yeah.
cocaine. You can use something like laundry detergent or something
That-
like that.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were going from like
And
you know,
generally, drug
air
dealers
conditioners
don't
use
do it for
synthetic
charity.
materials or
Yeah.
bandages
Yeah, I
use
know.
synthetic materials. Like I was
Well, there
going,
was really, I mean, it was something I had to play, and there was really nothing there that did
Yeah.
anything. So synthetic was the best thing that had anything to do with the crime.
gotcha.
We watch Dexter and Sherlock with all these clever answers.
Yeah.
We got ours because fat,
Fat
people
people
are
get hot.
Fat people get hot.
I figured dormitory was like, you know, I was going between dormitory and toilet in terms of like what's the most private place you could overdose on a drug, but toilet I don't really see many like air units in like a toilet.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Toilet,
go
you know?
wrench and cards because I thought they were the most kind of really
Yeah,
unlikely
hardest
pair.
one to
But I thought air
pair
conditioning
together.
was just so general
It
too.
is general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you should like look around at the cards too and see. Well, I
Yeah.
only have the only thing that's poison, but there's a lot of like bludgeoning things.
I was trying to.
Yeah.
I just couldn't see those.
Yeah,
I don't want to be like,
wrench
hey
and-
Rick, I need to see your cards.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, it is a new game, and due to luck of the draw, I have been chosen as the forensic scientist, which I'm very excited about. I've never been a forensic scientist before, and I'm interested to lead these guys through what will develop in my mind as the story of the crime. I'm creating a dialogue in my mind with the evidence that I'm provided. Yes! I finally won a game. But it wasn't purely myself. I was going to pick playing cards too if Rick didn't. So I'm glad he took the bullet proverbially for me. So this was a fun game. It's the first time I've ever guessed right. And I think Eric did pretty well with the clues that he could give to make us go in that direction. Once we got caught on the drugs thing, we didn't really stray off of it. From then on, he was just trying to lead us towards the evidence that was left behind. The synthetic clue almost got me towards the bandages, which I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, the large builded man definitely pointed it towards the air conditioner.
All right, we won. Calvin made the guess of air conditioner, which was one of my first guesses that it might be that, but I wasn't too sure which clue was fitting to what. So thank goodness for fat people.
All right, they got it. That was great. I had a lot of fun doing this versus my murder stunt. So who knows? Being the good guy sometimes pays off.
So now we have a game. Calvin gets to be the forensic scientist. I am an investigator, and I'm going to try to solve whatever this little story he's concocting happens to be. Time to go.
All right. This time, let's go around and everyone say their things like we did last time.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay.
That way, the forensic scientist, murderer, and everybody can kind of see what they have. So I have a knife and fork, electric current, smoke, towel, with sunglasses, a suit, soap, and plastic. It shows a little plastic bottle.
Okay.
I have a venomous snake, a cleaver, a video game console, clearly a PlayStation 3, a pill, snacks, hair, toothpicks, and a syringe.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I have a photograph, panties, an iron, and stockings.
Panties and stockings?
Yep.
Hot damn.
Dirty water, gunpowder, belt, and venomous
Give me some
scorpion.
dirty water and panties, I'll tell you what.
It's lol all over.
Yeah, right. All right, so I have metal chain. I have injection.
It looks like a sword from here.
Okay.
Kind of does, yeah. No, just read what they are so we know.
Injection, unarmed, lighter, diary, pocket watch, cigarette, and antique.
Okay.
All right, so that's what everyone has. So,
Put them up here.
yeah, because you don't need to see them. It's mainly for
It's other people.
everyone else.
All right, so I get to choose one of these 4 location cards.
You need the
It
murderer
would
to
be
pick
preferred
first.
to see what
Okay.
the murder weapons
All
and
right.
stuff are.
Very well. All right,
Good, they
everyone,
got together there, and they're the last 2 to get here.
everyone close your eyes. The murderer, point towards your 2 clues. Murderer, close your eyes.
Okay, so for the third and final round, I am once again the murderer. It's like impossible to play these kind of games, and I'm not like either, like, you know, the protagonist or the antagonist. I'm never just a person, just experiencing these things. Anyway, so I am the murderer this time, and I'm given my choices. And before the game started, because I had chosen dirty water and panties, but before the game started, Shane just ran out and said, "Dirty water and panties, that'd be funny." I can't do that now. So I switched it to dirty water and photograph, thinking there's no way Calvin's gonna be able to tell the story in any kind of incoherent or coherent way. But we'll see how this goes.
Everyone open your eyes. And now I will choose the murder location.
Where's the purple card? Did the purple card get mixed up? Do you have the purple card?
I do not.
I do not know.
Do you have the purple card over there, Eric?
Purple card? Yes, purple card.
I have nothing.
Maybe
purple
leave
card?
it
Oh,
downstairs
it's right
by
there.
accident.
This is purple.
Did you find it? There we go.
You accuse me falsely.
Well, you had taken them all at one point. I didn't know where they went.
Yeah, I did.
Is this creatine monohydrate or creatine ethyl ester?
I don't know, murderer.
I don't know. You can
I swear to God, I'm not the
Changing
murderer.
the subject.
cut cocaine
I
with
think it's
creatine.
Rick.
Did you know that? I looked that up when I was on my phone.
What were you looking up?
I was looking up, like, can you cut drugs with synthetic things?
You can do creatine ethyl ester.
I had an aunt named Esther.
Esther?
Isn't that what you said? Esther?
I had a professor named Esther.
All right, people.
Professor named
All right. The
Professor,
location of the crime is living room. First off, the location of the crime, I want to go homey, because the evidence that was provided to me was dirty water, which immediately reminds me of Lowell and Shane's home. Unfortunately, the photograph really played into that same thing of like being at home and among family and stuff like that. So I chose living room.
Living room points me more so to a game console, perhaps. I don't really know what else. Some things could be in the living room, like photographs and stuff, so we'll kind of see where that goes. But I feel like that one is very basic and could actually encompass a lot of these clues. We'll see what's next.
Okay. Living rooms have
Video game consoles.
Video game consoles.
And snacks. Damn it.
antiques.
Cigarette.
Some people have cigarette butts.
Could have a watch.
You don't keep a diary in
got
a
a
living
pocket
room. You keep a
watch.
diary in a bedroom.
Yeah, keep a pocket watch in a bedroom too.
We really
Some
need-
people have injections.
We really
but
know how they died.
Calvin metal chain.
What
All
is
right.
this? Unarmed?
The
That's-
cause of death is illness or disease.
For the cause of death, I chose illness because, waterborne illnesses and biologicals and stuff, very commonplace in dirty water and such like that. So that's what I chose, illness or disease, which really narrowed down the field of the cause of death. For other people, they were thinking like, electrocution or suffocation or something like that. Cleared all those off the board, and now we are left with more evidence.
All right, so we have illness and disease. I'm looking at the terrible, terrible things that have fucking those N-words on them. I hate those things. Injections and stuff. Maybe some dirty water. A couple things kind of fit with that, but we'll see. Kind of narrowing down a little bit. At least we know it's not bludgeoned weapons and stuff.
Okay, well, disease is a pretty good one, because diseases can be borne by the dirty water, so they might be zoning in on the dirty water, but it's going to be hard, I think, to get to the photographs, and we still have a lot of things that we need to rule out that could be diseases, so I still feel pretty confident in my choices, and we'll see where this goes.
Illness or disease.
Dirty water.
Certainly.
Injections.
Big
Maybe-
tobacco, you can prosecute them.
Maybe they were injected.
Maybe they had the beaties.
The beaties.
Dirty?
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Dirty water works. Illness or disease. I don't see gunpowder belt.
I have had panties
You
in
have
my
photographs in your living
before.
Have you?
I've had panties in your living room before too.
You definitely have photographs in your living room.
Yeah, I don't know
that
why you were wearing
that was
those,
weird when
Shane.
you were wearing them.
Stop
suit and
it.
tie, soap, plastic.
I mean, I can flip mine because it's not me, and I don't think any of these fit. But I'm not going to. Just
I mean,
so you
they
guys don't...
certainly fit. Some of them fit.
What? Where's illness or disease?
Damn that light.
A knife and fork, electrical current, smoke, and a towel.
Be food poisoning.
That would be poisoning.
Yeah, that could be an illness.
No.
Is being anemic an illness and they don't use the knife and fork?
A suit and tie could be found in a living room easily. Sunglasses in a living room.
I
very
mean, mercury
easily.
is if you supply some
plastic can
mercury
be
over
found?
time, the poisoning, it's a poison, but it weakens their system and they can get diseases.
Snacks, definitely. Hair. It could be some kind of diseased hair. I don't know.
Diseased hair.
Yeah.
It's accurate.
You just do that one when you need to,
Yeah, it's go get a rat hair, put it in there, and you're going to be fine.
depending on what it is.
Okay.
Well, console I really fit in there for living room.
But Rick
Yeah.
is not stupid enough for console.
But it's not a disease.
General
No.
impression.
That
of
could
the,
be addiction. You could starve to death.
It's just
wow.
a clue, right?
Ooh.
Addiction
General
is a disease.
impression of the crime scene was common.
My impression of the crime seems like every month Shane comes in and says that he has dirty water pouring into his bathtub yet again. So I'm going to say common.
Rick, why are you against yourself?
I don't know. I'm just going wherever the trail leads me.
Yeah. Well, now I'm thinking it's you, Rick.
to yourself.
All right, so I'm kind of looking at Rick because he has given himself some very good reasonings why it could be him. I don't know why he would do that to himself. It seems very suspect. So I'm going to go with Rick, but I don't think it's Rick. So I'm looking to try to find a reason to not believe it's Rick.
Well, how do you kill somebody with an addiction to video game? Well, that's a clue.
Syringe.
See, you also have a syringe though too, which would kind of count towards illness.
I've walked in a lot of living rooms with
Like they're
video
playing-
games and syringes and
Yeah,
all
could
kinds
be
of
playing
stuff.
like Fortnite so long they forget to take their insulin.
Yeah,
and
as I was gonna say.
diabetes is a disease.
Which is what you said,
is.
Rick. Why have you done this to yourself?
That's not me.
He could be trying to like push off suspicion by giving like that'd be a brilliant idea. Put off suspicion, give the exact right answer.
It's like, well, it can't be him. He gave us the answer.
I never thought about that.
That would be brilliant.
Rick has played this a lot. Maybe he's already happened to him.
The incident that caused this was nothing.
The incident that caused the crime, a lot of different options, but I want to go with what happens from what I know about the stories of dirty water in Lowell. Nothing happens, it just causes dirty water. So I'm going to choose nothing.
What?
Well,
Nothing
hey,
causes.
I mean, cigarettes and the lighter. I mean, a disease can be like
smoking and addiction.
smoking and addiction.
Lung
It's just there's no
cancer.
murder there.
It's nothing.
The
It's
other-
not nothing.
The other
It's-
options in the incident was power failure, fire, conflict, loss of valuables, or scream.
Okay.
Or what?
Can I flip electric
Scream.
current?
I think it said stream. Oh my.
I mean, you could electrify yourself trying to plug in a console.
Well, it's not a clue.
But it's not electric
Shane and
current.
I electrocute ourselves every time we hit that switch.
every fucking time. Like,
All right.
And the relationship of the murderer and the victim are relatives.
For the final one, the social relationship between the murderer and the victim, I'm going to say relatives because that really brings it home. It makes it familial between like Shane's kids and Shane, or Shane's wife and Shane. Mostly just Shane being poisoned on accident because, yeah, water sucks.
Okay, well, yeah, the relation thing. I mean, people generally have photographs of people that they're related to, but they also have photographs of a lot of things. And what does that have to do with the dirty water? Surely there's no real connective tissue, especially in the clues given. I don't imagine anybody is able to just blurt out the answer correctly. That'd be ridiculous.
The relatives, family.
Family portraits, dirty water. Family portraits, dirty water.
Correct.
fuck did you get that? Oh yeah, that's almost impossible.
I was trying to go for Shane's house, where he has dirty water, and he's got pictures in the living room.
Thinking of the Lord.
It's ridiculous.
That was incredible. Good job, Rick.
Portraits, family portraits, dirty
I'm
water.
extremely skeptical.
All righty.
Damn, I'm good. What the hell? Rick just pointed out the answer. It was ridiculous. I am so skeptical here. All right, I don't know how he got it that quickly. I can see like a possibility of it happening, but that's 1 in 14 million options. All right, and Rick picked the fucking one. The Doctor Strange figured it out. I'm a stand-up guy. I don't accuse people of cheating, but you know, so I don't know what happened.
I didn't even get all the way through my cards before Rick figured it out. I can't believe. Like, the evidence wasn't that specific, but he narrowed it down so quickly in his own headcanon, I'm truly shocked. I look over at Eric as soon as he says photograph and dirty water, and we share a look of disbelief.
Okay, so I'm literally in my head trying to think of a coherent story. Calvin is doing a pretty good job of this, and Rick just literally throws out a guess. He's an idiot. That guess is right! I can't believe it! I cannot believe it. It wasn't a guess, it was just, Rick is just great at this game. Had no, I can't believe it. I'm stunned. I'm stunned.
I'm sorry I doubted you, Rick. I'm sorry. You came through with this crazy idea and got it right all the way. It was great. Loved it. Fun game. I can't wait to play again.
why is there dirty water though?
I don't know.
It's your house.
I just picked
It's
the two
your
most.
living room. You live there. It's common. Nothing caused
I
it.
thought you were on our side.
Illness, disease. Huh?
I thought you were on our side.
What do you mean?
He is on your side.
Yeah.
But like
I'm trying to catch him.
dirty water. I just feel like wouldn't be a good clue.
Well,
It's
Well,
not.
he picked dirty
picked it.
water.
Choice.
Yeah.
What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking
about?
I
What else is it
choose.
supposed
I
to
say
be?
these because there's no way Calvin can tell the story. Rick comes in here, magically gets it.
Yeah.
this is the best story I could tell with this shit.
Yeah.
Eric,
Don't
Eric-
blame me.
yeah. Eric picked
We
the pieces.
won.
Calvin's
Yeah.
trying to give us hints for the things Eric picked.
Yeah, like
Blaming Calvin for him getting it right so easily.
dirty water could be nothing but illness or disease.
You
Yeah.
won, Shane. Be happy.
Nah, somehow I'm not. Like, I thought it was Rick.
It's like a cousin came over to Lowell. He hasn't lived in Lowell, so he's not immunized from the terrible
for the
diseases
water.
in the water.
So he just drank the
So
water.
He drinks the water
while
and
looking,
dies in the living room.
while looking at a family
Rick, 'cause
portrait.
there's a hatred for lower world. You get it.
All right. Well,
You're
guys,
like, how the hell did you get that?
that's a crazy match. I don't know what to say. That is it.
All right. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Game Night Deception Murder in Hong Kong. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss out on game nights and our RPG session starting now, soon, something. Keep an eye open for it. Maybe it's on early access right now. Make sure you check that out.
I need those stockings, Eric.
Subscribe. See you guys over at Patreon and
I need
blindwave.net.
pants.